It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. He's got that Gatorade hat on today, repping. So it's all good. It's all good. Want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne, wishes, caviar dream. Bradley, how you doing, man? I see you repping that Gatorade hat. What's going on, dog?
I'm doing good, BT. You know, I'm nice and hydrated. Always nice and hydrated. You know what I mean? No, I'm good. You know what?
Is that the Gatorade electrolytes?
You know what? Yeah, this is the electrolytes. Of course, this is the protein powder. This is all the stuff, all the things.
I'm drinking my muscle milk right now as we speak. You know. So
yeah. Well, yeah, you need it. You're looking a little light over there.
No, I'm back up to 228, man. What are you talking about?
I was worried about you. I was about to, make a phone call. What's going on?
I was down to 220, man, and I tell you, I started panicking like crazy, man. I went bought a whole case of muscle milk.
What's the heaviest, let's say peak of your career or peak heavy? What was the heaviest you ever really legit shoot got to?
248 pounds.
Now, how do you feel at 248?
Very, very heavy, very slow. I didn't feel good at that weight at all. I immediately got that weight off just because I realized my body just couldn't carry it. I always wanted to be big like my brother. And I tried so hard to gain weight back in the day, protein powder, weight gainer drinks, everything I possibly could do. I tried to gain weight. My body just could not do it. It would not take more than 230 pounds. It feel right. So I just said, forget it. I'm going to just see how this work out. And it worked out pretty good for me.
Now, at what point were you 248?
I was in WCW. It was one of my at some point in time in WCW. Like I say, I was chasing my brother.
So this is why y'all were tagging.
Yeah, it's Harlem Heat. Trying to get more size. Having that Road Warrior feeling. Wanting to have that look. But I think our look worked out for us, because my brother did his part, I did my part, and together it seemed like we met in the middle, and it just seemed to work out perfectly fine.
Well, the conventional wisdom for pro wrestling, especially late 80s into the early 2000s, like as late as 2008, was, the bigger the better. That's at least what we thought as fans, is like, you want to be as big as you possibly can, as muscular as you possibly can. The word on the street was, especially quote unquote New York likes them big, right? They want big guys and da 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 da.
Oh, sure.
But then when you think about it too, though, not only do you want to be big and look muscular, but especially during that schedule, if you're doing 200, 300 matches a year, man, you can't be overly big. You know what I mean? Like, you have to find a nice happy medium. Now, I know wrestling weights are what they are. I don't know if The Rock was really walking around at 280 pounds. I have my suspicions that maybe he's a little bit lighter than that. But nevertheless, it's hard to carry around that muscle, right? I mean, and and to be that big.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've watched guys over the years, try to carry that weight, and it doesn't work out too well for him. I remember watching one of the guys come out, and I was sitting in my car. I'm not going to say any names or anything like that, but man, he had the roughest time just opening the trunk and getting his bag in there and getting in the car, And I was like, man, it's got to feel, pretty crappy. And he was a pretty big guy, So nah, man. Like I say, I always wanted to be big when I was, coming up, but I'm kind of glad, my body just would not, take it more than anything. Yeah.
Yeah, because you actually see, I think it was in CM Punk's documentary years ago, right? It was before he left WWE the first time. Um, he talked about when he got signed to OVW, I believe, thinking, man, I'm 210 or 215, I need to get big. And he got up to like 240. And he said it didn't even look right on him. You know what I mean? Let alone he didn't feel good on it. So I can only imagine like if that's your programming. Let me ask you this. Were you ever, and the answer is probably no, but like when you got to WWE, did they ever say, hey, Book, we need you to get a little bit bigger,
Oh,
get
no, none of
on a
that.
little size?
That never happened with me. I thought I was big enough,
I
actually.
think you were.
I
Yeah.
thought I thought that in WCW my peak size was perfect at 230 pounds, 234. I looked my best at that weight, so I don't think they wanted me to get any bigger or smaller. And I don't even think they were thinking about that or anything like that. One guy I saw, Adam Rose.
Oh my goodness. Did you see that picture?
No, no, no. I was at a signing one day, and I was sitting next to Adam Rose, and I was waiting on Adam Rose to get there, right? Because there was this guy sitting at his table, and the guy was big, man. He was jacked. He was jacked gas to gills, and then I realized after about 3 hours that was
Adam Rose. I know. I saw the pictures.
jacked, man. He got like so big, man. Totally did beard, you know. He just totally looked like a totally different guy.
Yeah. He definitely found some new workout regimen. Because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
looked like
Like I
a
said, I sat next to him for, like I said, a couple of hours, and I didn't even know that was him. I swear to God, I did. And I was like, wow. And then I realized that it was him. I kind of felt bad about it a little bit. But yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that's quite the transformation there.
It's totally a big difference right there. Totally. That's two totally different guys. Two totally different bodies, two totally different looks. Man, it's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, some people would just try to get big, but I think you were a good size because you were big enough to work bigger guys. Like let's say the Takers, the Canes, the whomevers, right? Those size guys, the Vaders or whomever.
Yeah, but I can work the
And
cruiserweights as well.
and then you were small enough, not that you're a small guy, but you're small enough to where it didn't look out of place to work the cruiserweight guys.
Yeah,
Now, of
yeah.
course, if it's somebody like Ray, there's a significant height difference, and there
Yeah,
you
but we still made it work. You know what I mean? I wasn't big enough to not, work with guys like that and not look out of place working with guys like that. I thought I fit in perfectly fine working with the Dean Malenkos of the world, the Ultimo Dragons of the world. And we had some really, really good stuff at the same time.
Did you have, because I remember hearing Taker saying when especially when they're talking about WrestleMania matches, like he would have to work like Giant Gonzalez and stuff like that because it looked great on paper, the Giant versus the Giant, but he like didn't like those matches because it's hard to work with a big guy, especially a guy bigger than you when Undertaker's already considerably a good sized dude. Did you have a preference of working bigger guys or smaller guys?
I like working with guys normally around my size, or smaller. I didn't like working with bigger guys, especially if they were too big, like Big Show, guys like that. You knew you could only go out and do only so much in a match like that. Not taking away anything from working with guys like Big Show, but you're going to be able to go out and really think about having that memorable highlight match that you're going to look back on, and you're not going to think that way if you work with a guy that's 400 pounds. It's just not going to happen. You're going to go out there and get exactly what you need to get done and get the hell up out of there. That's the way I will be thinking about matches like that.
Yeah, yeah. I can only imagine, say, working a guy like Big Show. He's at probably when you're working with him in WWE, he's 480, 500, like legit, right? 450. somewhere around there, hovering between that. I don't know how you and forgive me if I'm asking too much, but can you really call spots with a guy like that? Like, can it be like, hey,
Big Show,
you,
a guy like Big Show.
yeah.
Nah, man, Big Show was smart. He actually learned how to work. I remember one time. Big Show, he went out and worked somebody. I can't remember who he worked. And he came back in the back, and I go, Big Show. I say, bro, you finally picked it up. You got it. So no, I'm serious. No, I'm serious. I said, you finally got it, man. You coming into your own. He looked at me, man. He was so mad because he thought I was playing with him. He thought I was joking. And he just went off on me. And I go, bro, I'm being serious here. You really have come into your own, because I could see he was thinking out there. I could see he was really performing, and he was performing at another level. Like the light bulb that went off.
Yeah.
And I gave him that compliment, but he was like, man, I can't even say what he said to me, but he was pissed big time. But I was reading something today about Big Show. He wants to come back as Captain Insano in AEW. He's been teasing this ever since he went over to AEW. Do you think we're ever going to see Captain Insano inside an AEW ring? What are you laughing, man? It's Captain Insano. I mean, what are you thinking?
In the laundry list of questions I thought I might be asked one day, when do I think Captain Insano will be in the AEW ring is not one I've actually put any thought.
Hey, man, he's been teasing it for quite some time, man.
Wait, there's never been a Captain Insano match ever. So he was just
No,
a character
I think did he do it? He had to do it somewhere, right?
He was in The Waterboy, I think.
Okay,
like in the Adam Sandler movie.
Maybe
I'm
that's
pretty
it.
sure.
Maybe that's it. Hey, we gotta take a break. Stick around, guys. You're inside the Hall of Fame. I'll be back in a minute.
Hey everyone, it's Brad Gilmore from the Hall of Fame here with the one and only Booker T, the 5-time WCW champion, and we're excited to talk to you about something that's been a game changer for the both of us. That's HelloFresh.
That's right, Brad. HelloFresh makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable with farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You can skip those tiring trips to the grocery store and dive straight into cooking delicioso meals, man.
Absolutely, Book. HelloFresh offers over 50 recipes and a ton of market items to choose from every single week. You can say goodbye to meal planning woes and hello to convenience. I've been loving their quick and easy recipes. They're ready in 20 minutes or less, which means I can spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying that Texas summer sunshine.
And let me tell you, the fit and wholesome recipes are perfect for keeping you feeling great all summer long. They're balanced packed with fresh produce and under 650 calories per serving. Plus, HelloFresh kids-friendly recipes are picky eater proof. My kids love them.
And here's the best part, BT. If you go to HelloFresh.com/freebooker, that's HelloFresh.com/freebooker right now, you can get one free breakfast item for life, forever, the entire time you're alive. That is HelloFresh.com/freebooker.
America's #1 meal kit. Baby, trust me, you won't regret it. HelloFresh takes the hassle out of meal planning, shopping, and most of the prep. You just choose your meals, select a delivery date, and get cooking, man.
So what are you waiting for? Go to HelloFresh.com/freebooker. That's HelloFresh.com/freebooker for free breakfast for life. HelloFresh.com/freebooker.
Boom, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. I don't know if you guys noticed on Tuesday night, NXT, I ran into CM Punk.
I saw it.
And we had words. And the thing is, it was refreshing. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. I know people was like, tripping when they saw that, me and CM. But the thing is, CM Punk and I, we really never ever had any beef. We really never did. I mean, people really thought that when he was in AEW, but I don't think CM Punk and I ever really had any beef. Did I say some things about CM Punk specifically when he was in the UFC? Yeah, I did, but
Yeah.
I don't think I said anything derogatory or mean spirited towards CM Punk at all. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, derogatory or mean spirited, no.
Or out of
So,
line.
out of line, no.
No, I mean everything I was talking
Did you
about.
voice your opinion when asked, especially about
Yeah,
the UFC stuff? Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Even when he was in AEW, just like say for instance, when he made his debut. What did I say?
Said he dropped the ball, missed the mark.
I say the promo didn't hit me properly. I say it could have did a little bit something, and that's just a constructive criticism. That's not a knock or anything on CM Punk or anything like that. No, it isn't. You know, so CM Punk did something at NXT this week. Also, that was I don't know. It was refreshing as well. I wrapped up at the desk, right? Went to the bathroom, went back, talked to the boys, hung out a little bit in the back. And then I was leaving the arena and I had to walk right back through the arena. And when I walked back through, everybody was still in the arena. All right. It was still packed, jammed in there. I was like, what the heck? Well, I thought these people was going home. And CM Punk stayed. It was just like one of those, just like trying to get the Undertaker to do the spinner. It was one of those type of deals. It was a moment that the NXT fans were going to get a chance to, have, for the rest of their lives. They're going to, think about that moment for the rest of their lives, hanging out with CM Punk after the show. So I appreciate that, man. And CM Punk seems like we're almost in that same space, man. We too old to be thinking about beef. I swear, I think that's what we are. Ran into each other on the plane that morning too, and I was like, I didn't even know he was sitting right behind me, and we just got to talking, just small talk, but it's just cool. It's just cool to still be able to network through people still trying to make something out of nothing. But him and I are grown enough to rise above that and understand what this business truly is all about. At the end of the day, it's about the journey. It's about the camaraderies that you make along the way, and hopefully you make some money.
So on that note, I hear a lot about this from different people in interviews and things of that nature, that the CM Punk that we're seeing now seems to be different in philosophy or what have you. Um, do you see any noticeable difference in his personality, candor, or thereof? Because, and the reason I ask, when we saw him in AEW, we did see seemingly a different individual. Now, you could say that's based upon the factors at play of where he was working and maybe his lack of happiness there. But do you see a different CM Punk?
I mean, I do see a difference in Punk, but the thing is also you got to understand. I think the thing with AEW was the structure.
Yeah.
I think the structure. Just like at the press conference, he said, he's working with a lot of kids, a lot of young guys, and that's true. And when you're working with younger guys, a new company, not having a real footprint on the way how things are done or how things are ran. And then you come into the fold and you expecting it to be this way and it's totally that way. I say that because when I went into TNA, it was totally this way and I thought it was going to be that way. Yeah, you could totally get rubbed the wrong way. And then you come back to a system where it is structured. Everything is done a certain way. You are around, guys your age. You know what I mean? It's a respect issue there that's totally different. Yeah, I can see him feeling in a totally different place, a better place, being back in WWE. But I think also, just like myself, being able to hang out with the NXT guys, it's a sense of giving back, and you feel good about it. Actually, when you network with these young guys, and they, just like CM Punk was in the ring with Roxanne Perez, even though they were doing an angle, you got to understand the respect from Roxanne Perez being out there with someone like CM Punk. She got to be like, wow, this is amazing. This is a dream come true, you know. So for Punk to be able to give these young guys the rub, just like I try to give these young guys the rub, I think it's gratifying, man. It makes you feel a certain way, and no amount of money can actually make you feel that way. I'm serious.
And yeah, to know that there's structure, to know that there's accountability, to know that there's collaboration. And it seems that like if you compare his run in one company to the other, so far, is I think that AEW felt as though they needed CM Punk in order to grow. They needed him to be the premier guy, throw everything at him. He's our dude. WWE was in this great place to where I think we even talked about on the show. Do they need a name to come in, to boost sales or anything? No, they didn't need anybody to come in. WWE was doing all-time business. So to be able to bring somebody in and then find a great spot for him or her and be able to position them in a way that's going to be beneficial for them as an individual, but also beneficial for your company and beneficial for your future talent, is a luxury that WWE now has with CM Punk. And I think that perhaps, maybe he doesn't feel as much pressure on him as he did in AEW. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but it felt like they threw everything, AEW threw everything behind CM Punk to be their flag bearer, to be the guy. We need you all the time. We need you to do everything. The press. We need you to be the champion. We need you to launch this show. We need you to sell this Chicago out for the 12th time this year. Yeah, I think pressure was on, and then what does that do when the company's putting everything behind you? Well, brother, some people in the locker room aren't going to like that so much. And then it leads to the issues that we saw. Now, that's me speculating. But when you come into WWE, right now it's like, hey, just jump on the train, man. We're moving forward. Enjoy the ride with us.
Play your role.
Play your role.
I mean, like I always say at reality wrestling, I say, man, if everybody just do their role, everybody just play their role for that night, we'll have a great show. I don't need you trying to do too many jobs. I don't need you trying to do, more than what I'm asking you to actually go out there and do. If you do that, man, we'll have a hell of a show. Your match is going to be great. I think CM Punk is in that position right now to where there are so many players in WWE right now that you can go to so many different guys to be able to carry the ball. It's a hell of a backfield. It really is a hell of a backfield. Got several quarterbacks that you can put in the lineup. So for me, I think, I would rather be in a system like that where you can float a little bit and not have to worry about constantly being, the main focal point of everything that's going on. Like you said, selling out Chicago on a regular, because that seemed like that became home base. Chicago was it. So I think being able to sit back and cruise a little bit, that would be my modus operandi, and that's always been my modus operandi. I've never been, a guy too keen on, running the ship or anything like that, or being the guy all the time. Just because, like I said, being the guy all the time is the hardest job in this business. It will ruin you. It really can.
So we're seeing a difference now. So you're referring to during his entrance, he came over and y'all dapped it up and you hugged on camera. I thought he said something to you when he did that. I couldn't hear it. Did he say something?
Not really. I mean, we just just small talk. Just small talk. Yeah. Nothing I want to do.
You didn't ask him why he referenced you in a promo recently?
No, I didn't, man. I started to talk to him about that on the plane, but it's here nor there. It's like when Punk says something about me, I don't take offense to it. And hopefully when I say something about Punk, people shouldn't take offense to it. Just because, bro, I mean, we grown as men. We grown as men, and we can speak up for ourselves if we got something to say to another man. You know what I mean? Because how you gonna tell a man? How you gonna tell a man? How you gonna do it? How you gonna do it? You can't do it. You can't do it. That's the way I see that. We gotta take another break. Stick around, guys. You are inside the Hall of Fame, man. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
You know, let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, you know, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Just talking about CM Punk. Speaking of CM Punk, AEW, actually, AEW. Speaking of AEW, AEW did a number of 887,000 views on Dynamite, down from 716,000 views. What do you think is the deal with AEW? Seem like they have peaked. It seems like they're at a number now to where that number doesn't seem like it's going to go up. It seems like that number may go down well before it's going to go up. What do you think is the deal with AEW, and do they really care about the numbers? I don't know. I'm just trying to get a feel of, you know, what is this company's end goal? What do you think?
You know, as far as what is their end goal?
Because it's been, what, 4 years now, 5 years?
Since 2019 is when they launched. So 5 years, almost
5
6.
years. It's been 5 years.
6 in January.
Yeah. And that seemed like that would be something that the company would have a keen eye on, is the numbers. The numbers, merchandises, you know, of course, TV deals, whatnot. Seemed like that's what they would be thinking about. But with that number steady, peaking around 700, a little bit more than 700. I remember the last time they got 800. It's got to been quite something. And they seem like they're doing big things. Seem like they're throwing everything against the wall. Give me your thoughts on it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to know exactly what they're doing. What they're doing wrong, I guess, is, well, actually, that's kind of an easy answer, right? What they're doing wrong is easy. They're not giving the audience what it wants, right? If they were giving the wrestling audience exactly what they wanted, they'd be up over 700, 800, 900 every single week. Because there was a period of time where they were at that 850, 900 range pretty regularly.
Close to a million. Yeah.
Close to a million, and sometimes crossing that million.
Yeah. At certain times on the show. At
certain times. And, for them to draw 687,000 views. I know, and to me, the number sounds low. Now, really, the only thing that matters is what TNT, TBS, and Warner Brothers thinks. If Warner Brothers Discovery goes, oh, no, we love that number, or that we can live with that number, then it really doesn't matter. They're not maybe incentivized. But obviously, if they were giving the people exactly what they wanted, the number would be much higher, right? And I just wonder if AEW is one of those things to where You know when a new act comes out, like a new, we could say a new band or a new rapper, new singer, and they like seem to have boom, big hit right when they come out. Then they even follow up with a really good hit after that, and they put the album out. And people really dig the album, and then they put that second album out. And right, it historically in music, when you put your second album out, they call it the sophomore slump because it never does as well as the first one. I just wonder if the AEW's in their sophomore slump phase to where we had this really hot start. You had all the number one hits. You toured the planet. All the stars came out. Everybody was riding you. You were the next big thing. And then as time progressed and went on, we realized, oh, okay. I mean, yes, you put on a product that people have an audience and a fan base for, but it's not what we thought it was going to be. And the other thing you got to think about is this: AEW started the exact right time when fans, by and large, were very much unhappy with the WWE product and unhappy that there wasn't an alternative. These were the days where somebody would tear up the scripts right before they went on television and change everything. And if you want to see this guy or girl be the champion, well, damn it, guess what? You don't get it. You know?
You want to see me win in Houston? Damn it, you ain't getting it.
You ain't getting it. You don't like Roman Reigns? Well, guess what? He's in all 12 segments, Jack.
He's a baby
You know,
face. Suffering succotash.
Suffering succotash. So they came along at the right time. And right now, I think that AEW is seeing the numbers and the returns that they're seeing for two reasons. One, they're not putting on a product that the wrestling masses want to gravitate to at the same level as WWE. And two, WWE is putting on a great product week to week, superior. And it's not just Raw, it's not just SmackDown, it's not just NXT, it's all of them. All of them are really good right now.
Yeah.
And it's hard. I think that would be hard to compete with.
Yeah, especially when you don't have a writing team. Especially when you coming up with all the ideas. It seemed like, I don't know, man. AEW, they got all of this money, man, back, and I'm with Tony Khan. But it seems like, I don't know. Like I say, of course, just my thoughts as far as them trying to change the way people look at wrestling. That's one thing. But still, some things really never go away. And that's like how you bring guys in, like a Takeshna, like a Will Ospreay, with a big build up, a big package, that kind of stuff to get people excited. And then those guys normally come in and, work their way, up to, the point that where they want to be. But it seems like in AEW, they just bring them in, throw them in the ring, put them in matches, 6-man, whatever, you know what I mean? And just, I don't know. To me, it seems like it's counterproductive as far as really thinking about the show and what the show looks like, opposed to the matches and how the guys go out and perform their matches. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like to me. It seems like it's less show orientated, more wrestling orientated. And I get that it's a wrestling company, but still, I think people are drawn to the show, the lights, the camera, the action. I think if reality of wrestling was just a building, I don't think we'd be selling out every month. I really don't. I think if it was just a building with a ring, we had, speakers and a curtain up where guys just walk out, I don't think we would be as successful as we are. I think reality of wrestling thinks about the show and the way the show runs more than anything. I think at one point in time we thought about maybe wrestling heavy because that's the only, we didn't have as much, we wasn't as cohesive as a unit. But now I think with reality of wrestling, it's run so close to the way, just for say, a NXT show is going to run, or a sitcom is going to play out more than anything.
So, in regard to AEW2 being a wrestling show, I think part of that is example by, let's just take the last two pay-per-views from each company. Let's take Bash in Berlin, which was a premium live event from WWE, and let's take All Out from AEW. Bash in Berlin had 5 matches. 5 for the entire show. 5 matches. Sold out, record-breaking crowd. Everyone enjoyed it. There's something that you wanted to see in every single match. There was somebody you wanted to see in every single match, and you were emotionally invested in an outcome in every single match, right? AEW, on the other hand, had, I think I counted 14 matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, excuse me. had 12 matches at All Out. And I'm just saying that shows the difference between if we give them more wrestling, that's what this fan base wants, to where the WWE was, we'll give them less, but just has more story.
Yeah. AEW, that was like taping 4 TV shows right there
For us.
for us. That was 4 TV tapings.
Yeah. However, major difference twofold. We don't have any match that goes 31 minutes after a 27-minute match.
Yeah.
And we don't have any needles.
Yeah, exactly.
Small differences.
Exactly my point. But nah, man, I don't know. I just was throwing it out there, just wondering why haven't that company grown more in this 5 years with as much money that they have spent on just talent alone in that company. Seem like they would be in a better place. A lot of the talent that they have signed working in Ring of Honor, we really don't get a chance to see them until they're on AEW television, and that goes back to, out of sight, out of mind, time off is your worst enemy. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Just because you've been working, if nobody's seen you, you still out of sight, out of mind. So I think that may have a lot to do with having that third brand. Also, I think throws a monkey wrench into everything, trying to produce a Dynamite, Collision, and then trying to think about ROH at the same. I just think there's so much there again, especially if you don't have a staff actually running that side and really trying to create something to where it looks totally different than what you got going on over here. I think it could work in that aspect. I don't know if Tony Khan is actually involved, that heavily as far as running ROH, but it seems like it's, kind of like under that same banner the way it's run. I could be wrong.
Well, I think that Tony Khan probably thinks some days, why the hell did I buy Ring of Honor?
Yeah. I would imagine. He might be thinking that.
I mean, if he just wants to, he could have just gone to his backyard and just set fire to the money if he wanted to, because to me, I've seen no net positive of having AEW other than inheriting a lot of contracts and having a videotape library that you don't have anything you can do with, nor any television deal you can secure.
Don't have a videotape library that he even tries to use.
You can't utilize it. What are you going to utilize it on? I mean, it's unfortunate. Bad idea.
No, I mean, you got packages that you can do. Just say, for instance, Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, story as far as where he come from. It's a few of those guys over there that, have come up through that Ring of Honor system that they could actually put together some, best of stuff with. It's not going to be a whole lot. But there are a few things that they could do with it. But I just don't think buying that company for that library just for those few guys was a smart move. I don't know. Tony Khan's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. He didn't get this for being an idiot or anything like that. But we got to take a break, man. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
Hey guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section and row for less elsewhere Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, bro.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous books, so guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code Booker for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Guaranteed. Oh, yes. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. We got any super chatters?
Yes, we do have super chatters. This is gonna be our last segment today, so we might as well get to them. This comes from John JID 999, who said with AEW, their numbers continue to be under 800,000. This is a 5 to 6 year old company. They should be growing. Will this new TV deal make them profitable? Yeah, I mean the question is, how much is their deal going to be? And will it give them perhaps more money to not be so tight around the collar and maybe spend some more in marketing or do something that could perhaps give that number a boom? It's interesting. I don't know if a talent acquisition book would really do the trick because they've gotten all the free agent talent that they've wanted, and it hasn't produced a number consistently over that 800. But what do you think? Will the TV deal help?
No, it's not going to be talent. TV deal is going to help them, just because you got some excess cash coming in, some excess revenue coming in, especially when Tony Khan is spending so much on talent. The more money you got coming in, the better. So that's not going to hurt them or anything like that. But I think AEW's change is going to come when I think more, like you said earlier, collaboration, more guys on that team, more guys, in the room as far as really, really trying to come up with great ideas. I just don't think I hear it all the time that Tony Khan is running the place and he's coming up with all the storylines. I would be hard pressed to believe that. I really would. I would be hard pressed to believe that Tony Khan is coming up with all the stories, just because you got the Young Bucks who are very, very instrumental in everything that they do. Kenny Omega has always been a guy that was, pretty much he's pretty much righted his own ship in this business, and I don't think a guy like Kenny Omega is going to be going somebody else's route, not his own. I don't think those guys came in to AEW to actually do stuff that somebody else wanted them to do. I think they wanted to do their own thing. And if you watch the show, I think you could actually see that the guys are pretty much doing their own thing. I cannot imagine all the stuff that the guys have been doing on television that Tony Khan came up with all of those ideas. I just can't believe that. I would be hard pressed to believe that. Did he come up with some of them? Probably. But the syringes, the chair shots, to the head, unprotected, that seemed like a childhood dream that perhaps these kids perhaps want to go out there and do. Now, is it something Tony Khan perhaps want to see? Maybe. Just because it seemed like a lot of these guys that Tony Khan hire, it seems like he has been a huge fan of these guys that he brings in. That's just me from the outside looking in. Certain guys, just like just got let go from WWE, Ricochet.
Yeah.
Guy like that, pick him up immediately. We gotta have him. Certain guys get let go. They may not get picked up just because they're not Tony Khan's flavor that he's been used to watching since he was a kid. And Tony Khan is what, 30s, in his 30s?
Yeah, I think later 30s.
He's still a kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It's interesting when you think about it from a talent acquisition standpoint. Yeah, they've got a bunch of big free agent names. Will Ospreay, Okada, Sasha Banks, or Mercedes Moné rather, Ricochet, Adam Copeland. List goes on and on. But then on the inverse of that, you take a guy like Ethan Page. Now, has Ethan Page been more relevant and more of a star in the last 6 months during his run in NXT, if it's even been 6 months, or in the amount of years that he spent in AEW? And to me, he's been more of an asset and a coup for WWE in these last couple months because he's being positioned right, and WWE likes to position talent for the future and for future growth. Whereas AEW seems to be more, we need more established names now. We're not really caring so much about the homegrown. Now, that's not to say they don't have homegrown stars. They have people who have started with AEW or very quickly thereafter, the MJFs, the Darby Allens, the Jack Perrys, I guess you could say, and throw them in there. But it's all about how you utilize them too. We'll see. We'll
Well,
see.
you made a good point there. Talk about Ethan Page in AEW. It really wasn't that relevant. And then coming to NXT, man, guys, he's a star.
Immediately.
I mean,
Immediately.
everybody
Overnight.
everybody knows Ethan Page right now. He's a guy that's doing a hell of a job. And then you got guys who let's just say, for instance, Adam Cole. Adam Cole in WWE and NXT, he was super, super hot. I mean, I had touted this guy as being the next Shawn Michaels. That's what I said. I said that. And then he goes to AEW, get lost in the shuffle. We really don't hear a whole lot from him. He get hurt. He's on the shelf, out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, I really believe WWE do concentrate on making guys stars, and AEW are really comfortable with just having wrestlers.
Bottom line. Speaking of wrestlers, Mike Woodson wants to know if we've seen the PWI 500. I'm so mad at the list, but big up to Swerve being number 2. I have not looked through the entirety of the PWI 500. I do know, I think there's a few reality wrestling talents on there. There normally is. But I haven't looked at it, Book. Big ups to Swerve. Yeah, number 2.
I haven't checked out the PWI 500 myself. I remember I was on there back in the day. I think the top number I topped was number, I don't know, maybe might have been 5.
Apropos.
Yeah, I take it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and no disrespect to Pro Wrestling Illustrated or the PWI 500.
And I know
I really
said, what was Gunther? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Mike, if you know, let me know what Gunther was, because I said right now Gunther's the best in the world. I got a lot of pushback on that from a lot of people, especially a lot of AEW fans, as far as Gunther. He's good, but we got this guy, and we got this guy, and a lot of guys that they were talking about were guys that do a lot of flying and a lot of running around the ring. And I get it. It teaches own.
Gunther was number 9.
Okay, all right.
It went Cody Rhodes 1, Swerve 2, Ospreay 3, Rollins 4, Naito 5, Damian Priest 6, MJF 7, John Moxley 8, and then Gunther.
Okay. All right.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Okay. Next one. BT, you were quiet the whole Punk Roxanne segment. What were you thinking when he stopped Roxanne from handling her business against Julia?
I had to step out of that. I had to totally remove myself from that situation, just because there's a lot of personal involved when it comes to Roxanne Perez. I feel like she's kind of like my little girl out there. So, but I do know also that she's got to be able to fly on her own. She's got to be able to go out there and handle her own business. So I just say, let me just sit back, watch, wait, and anticipate. If I have to hit the ring, I know it. I would know it. But nah, man, she handled the business, and I must say, Roxanne Perez did a hell of a job in that promo segment with CM Punk. A lot of young guys can get caught up in the lights being in that situation right there, but she seemed so comfortable being in that situation. So big props to my girl, Roxanne Perez.
Let's go to our next one here. We only have a few minutes left. Brandon says, I believe if AEW adopted TNA's blueprint from 2005 to 2010, with the platform that they'd have, they'd beat WWE in ratings. Ultimately, the fans will choose the better show, not which company has been there longer. I do agree that they'll choose the better show, and I think that's playing out right now.
Well, I tell you, at one point in time in TNA, like when I first got there, they were really seemed like they were coming up with good stories, but they had a good team. Also, they had a really really good team of guys that were coming up with the storylines, and we just had to go out there and execute. I think when Vince Russo came in, things kind of changed because Vince Russo was kind of like that writer, like Tony Khan. He wanted to do everything. He didn't want any input. All the stories pretty much went through him, and you could kind of like see the difference on television. When Vince was running it as well. So yeah. I get that, and I can agree with that. I can agree with that if they were to go to that blueprint to where I remember it was Dutch Mantel, it was Jeff Jarrett, Scott D'Amore. It was a group of guys that was actually coming up with stories.
We'll try to get to these last ones quickly here. Brandon says TNA had the best of everything: star power, talent, with entertaining characters, great matches and storylines, and overall veterans.
Main event Mafia, baby. The Mafia, baby, was all about the five.
All about it.
It's all about the five.
Brian Alvarado wants to know both of your guys' favorite storyline the last 2 years. I mean, for me, it's actually Cody finishing his story, seeing that journey. But, obviously the bloodline as well, and Roman's run. Even Sami Zayn trying to get the title in Montreal was a great short little story there.
Yeah.
Any other stand out to you, Bo?
You know what? It seemed like the bloodline storyline has been going for the last couple of years. So it's dominated everything. It's really dominated everything. But like you say, the Cody Rhodes story, him finishing the story for Dusty, I don't think it get any bigger than that. I really don't think it get any bigger than that. So I will give that story the story of the year, as far as I'm concerned.
Big Soul said, "Hey, Book, me and my little brother are very, very passionate about pro wrestling. I'm going on 33 next month. He just turned 26. And our dream since we were little was to wrestle. One day we want to come to Row and start."
Hey man, don't ever think it's too late. That's the one thing you don't want to do is look back when you're say 50 and say, "Man, I wish I had tried when I had a chance." You don't want to do that, man. Step in the ring at least once to know that you at least gave it a shot. And the thing is, it might be for you. You never know. So go to realitywrestling.com and sign up, and let's get you in the program and get you going, and let's do it quick because that's what we do at Reality Wrestling.
Kelly Toenail, last one of the day, says, when I don't catch the shows live, I watch Hulu, but SmackDown has been missing. Do you know if NXT is leaving? Two ways better to watch than one. I don't know if it's leaving. Do you know if it's leaving Hulu, NXT?
No, I don't know, man. I don't know at all. Actually, I hadn't heard anything about it. All I know is we're getting ready to kick off on October 1st on the CW network, and everybody, man, I'm talking about everybody is so freaking excited for that. Even myself. These young guys are getting ready to become major stars, man, in every household around the country, and you gotta love it.
Let's see. Black Sea King just gave us 10. We appreciate that. Black Sea King. Jake D said, "Booker, do you still teach in Minneapolis, Minnesota? Was thinking of stopping by to see Ken Anderson and was wondering if 24 too late."
I haven't did any teaching in the Minnesota area in probably quite some time. I think I might have did a seminar that way, but I know Ken Anderson got his school out there, so maybe I'll make a trek out there and do a little something.
Awesome. Well, those are our super chats for today, Book. It's time to get on out of here.
Boom, man. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, man. Getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams. We appreciate you guys, man. We're on our way to 800,000 subscribers on YouTube, guys. So make sure you jump on board, man. Jump on board. We need you guys. But Bradley, for all the heavy lifting, as always, we appreciate you. And like I always say, peace. We love you, and we out.